You're saying that. Okay, wait. So you understand? I don't take away rights from like the rape baby. It's just what I defined
Oh,
earlier
you're
to you as aggression. That's the
right.
distinction.
So okay. Let's say then like with the whole fucking car shit, man.
Okay.
Like consenting to go on the fucking road isn't like consent to getting crashed into, right? Like you can accept that, or like say there's a fucking yeah, no, like consent to getting crashed into.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like how is this like how is this different for any like other case of like sex? Like consenting to sex is consenting to the general like understanding, right? Like protected sex, right?
Okay, wait.
Like for example,
Which definition of consent are we using again?
consensual sex, right, being in between like two people, right? So and then consent to an outcome is like what we discussed with the fucking what's it called, the terms of services shit.
Yeah. So like, I'm just gonna assume we're using the definition of consent to like allow something to happen. Would you be okay with that?
um Sure. I don't know if we allow necessarily allow a baby to be conceived or not. I think this is a little bit. I think we can allow certain preventative measures to be taken, which um, would decrease like probabilities, but I don't think we would ever.
Well,
Like,
I would disagree with that because like if I leave my door open and like I'm in Texas because like a frog kind of like will just like jump in. If I left my door open, there's a possibility that a frog would let in or like would come in. And so if I left my door open and a frog jumped in, I would still say that I allowed it to come in by not closing by opening
yeah.
my door.
So if I try to if my door won't like close fully on its hinges and I just like fucking do a like plastic wrap around the doorway, right? This is an attempt to protect through it, but let's say the frogs over millions of years fucking developed like teething mechanisms to go through this, right? Like we still understand that there is like an action there to like try to prevent the frogs, right? And it is passive and it's like a little bit out of your control if like they do get in or not anymore. So like we don't necessarily choose. We choose to try to prevent, but we cannot um like wholly we do not have like choice.
But if you say it's like out of your control, I would say that you do have some control. If you had the ability to like stop these frogs from coming in, I'd say it was within your control of like whether these frogs will come in or not.
Yeah,
But
sure. What if they like sneak in through? They fucking squeeze themselves through a crevice or some shit that like you just could not possibly have accounted for.
like real quick, I just want to say I think like allowing them would require an action like opening the door. So like if the door was like already in a state where it is open and you had nothing to do with it, I wouldn't say you allowed them to come in. But if you like, let's just say you opened the door and then you couldn't close it again because it jammed, and then you tried to put plastic over it to cover it, I would still say you accidentally allowed a bunch of frogs in your house.
You accidentally allowed.
Yes.
Allowed is just a like sense of entry. Then it's not actually a like a term of actually. That's not where I want to go with that.
But wait, I don't think I'm still confused on like how you think I would take away value from like the essay case and not like because the way I described aggression is going to be placing them into a state of dependency. Like seeing as you didn't place them into a state of dependency, I wouldn't charge you with any obligation to ensure that they're no longer in that state of dependency. So it's not really a value thing because like it's a distinction between like whether I push somebody into a pool or whether I just like happen to see them into a pool drowning. If I push them into, I'd say I have an obligation, and the obligation stems from a preference to avoid liability, to get them out of the pool. That's where I would say the obligation comes from. But like they still have more consideration if I didn't push them into the pool and I just came by. I wouldn't say I have an obligation to like get them out of the pool any means necessary.
I mean, I don't think you would either. But can you please relate this like point by point back to the topic of abortion, like the
Okay, yeah.
hypothetical you just
Because
gave?
like you made the assertion that I take away value, or like I take away the capacity for rationality, the value from that principle, from like the R word baby, and so I'm saying that I
Yeah.
don't. It's actually the obligation that the mother would have towards protecting this baby. That's going to be the distinction. It's like, would you
Right, so
agree?
I'm saying the mother's obligation, right? The mother's preference for action supersedes the capacity for life in this instance. So why would it not carry over for other instances, right? Because the distinction is just like you doing it or you coming by it. I think in both cases you should have the um you should at the very least, if you don't have the inclination to say them, you should have a responsibility to say them. And so far as nobody else, you're not putting yourself in like detrimental harm. Um,
So wait, real quick, you agree
right,
that
so like a
under
life
my
for a life.
so wait, you agree with like under my framework that I wouldn't take away value from one in the other. Like, would you agree with this?
You're not taking wait, restate that? Sorry.
Because like earlier you said, you asked me why the inherent capacity for rationality wouldn't be a standard of value in this case, but it would be in the other. And I'm saying that I actually don't
No,
take away
I'm
value.
asking why the standard of capacity is superseded.
Wait, that's
Um,
not what you asked earlier. You asked like for a distinction between the two, and like
I no,
rather,
no, no, I what I asked is why in one instance, right, the capacity for rational faculties to develop is, um, like is like an infallible thing, and where in the other sense it can be overridden by a mother's choice.
okay, yeah, maybe I just misunderstood the question. But if you're asking why you can override, why your preferences are going to override their inherent capacity of rationality, I wouldn't say it overrides it. I don't see how you violated their rights other than just like protecting your own.
It doesn't override it. So when a third party implements something into this mother, and it is now between a separate two people, right? Third party no longer regarded. It is different from any other instance of the mother and another like this child, right? Which we're going to consider a moral agent under your framework.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just so they're identical, but it's okay to do it in one. It,
Yes.
I, that's
Wait.
just like
Wait. Do you remember
that's just
earlier
a
when I
fucking
said?
like category
Like
error, right?
earlier
Like
when I said that the fetus would have negative rights, I would say that these negative rights would include the right not to be aggressed upon, seeing as the mother had no preemptive aggression on one fetus in one scenario. I would say that that doesn't warrant any obligation that the mother would have. So I would say this is retaliatory aggression, or not retaliatory aggression, but retaliatory force in one scenario, and flat out aggression in the other scenario. So that's the
Yeah,
difference.
so like if like rape is the action of not wanting sex, which like gives the outcome of not wanting, it's like or not a baby that's also not wanted, right? Um but like where is the distinction from like normal sex? Because right, so like normal sex is like in consenting individuals, right? But the outcome is still not wanted. The same way, I can walk down a fucking dangerous alleyway, right? And um understand that there might be a high chance to get like robbed, and I could still or I can like do different like degrees of protection while I'm walking down this alleyway. Like for example, I could bring a gun or fucking like I don't know, like pepper spray or like whatever. And we understand these are gonna have different like degrees of effectability in preventing that I get robbed, right? But if I do still get robbed, I still have like there is still that um the issue is still on like the robber rather than the protective issue. So like what is there's not much of a like there's not much of like a notable distinction for me to say that oh yeah only the action is bad and like or the action is like fine but like the outcome is like not.
Wait, when it comes to like outcome and action, I guess we could say that because like these two individuals decided to have intercourse and like cause a child, and then like 19 years in the future, this child walked down an alley and then got robbed. That because the start of this chain of events is actually on the parents because they decided to have intercourse, that they would be held liable. That is not the case. I would say that the case. Or like the case of liability for the actions would just go on to like the most recent moral agent to like who have caused the state of affairs. So it wouldn't be on like the parents who gave birth to the child. It wouldn't be the child who grew up to be 19 years old and then walked down an alley. It would be on the robber who actually initiated force in the most recent action to cause a state of affairs.
Yeah, sure, but I'm just saying is that like walking down this alleyway, right? You can have different levels of like degree of protection, right? So like you can have forms of like risk protection, right? But the issue itself is um like not an action, right? Because like we wouldn't say it was okay if it was like it got deferred. Um, or like the action like protected somebody from the robber, right? We'd still say that the robber like isn't a wrong for like the end goal of that robbery, right? So so just because you went in there for the fucking like knowing you could get hurt, uh you have protection, right? But like that doesn't change the fact that like the attempt to get hurt is still like wrong. It's still initiated of force, and you still have like the like right to retaliate against it, right? So like whatever, like by whatever degree necessary. It's like if I go there with a fist, like knowing there's 100% chance I'm gonna get like fucked in the ass if I go in there with like just my fists. And then like only like a 20% chance if I go with my gun. We're gonna acknowledge that like in both cases, like we have the right to retaliate against that like outcome of that.
Okay, wait. I'm having a little bit of trouble correlating this towards pregnancy because of.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, right? Even if you understand the possibility, right? Like the consenting to a possibility, um, or just because you're doing something does not mean you're consenting to like the possibilities like necessarily. The primacy of blame isn't on you. Thus, there's no like there's no like notable distinction between that and like the fucking R baby case.
Okay,
Um,
are you saying that
like
because there's a risk between the action and outcome, because like there's a set of chance, like there's a percentage
yeah,
between the action
I'm
and
saying the
outcome?
percentage doesn't matter in determining the like agency one has to
Okay, wait.
retaliate.
So are you saying that because there is a percentage at all, therefore this percentage negates any form of liability from the action onto the outcome?
Yeah.
Okay, wait. I would disagree with this because like if I shoot a gun, right? This gun has let's just say because of like the brand of this gun is like really shoddy and it's just trash. There's only like a 5% chance of this gun actually shooting. Regardless, the action of me pulling the trigger is going to engage this 5% chance of actually shooting, and then the bullet would actually result in an outcome that violated somebody else's rights. Obviously, we can't just say, well, actually, there's only a 5% chance this gun was going to shoot. Like you can't blame me. I would say because I'm the most recent moral agent.
Well, it's retaliatory and that's hypothetical.
Wait, it's
Um,
retaliatory? No, it's wait. How is it
yeah,
retaliatory?
I said that somebody's trying to fucking mug you, like
No,
you're trying.
wait, no, no, no. I
I said,
changed the analogy. Wait, I changed the analogy to where like this innocent man just got shot with a gun.
oh,
Like, yeah.
well,
So under your principle, because like if we accept the premises that because there is a percentage, therefore liability can be negated. I could say there's a percentage that this gun is not going to shoot. Therefore, liability should be negated onto me for shooting the gun. Like I wouldn't agree with this. I don't think you would either.
liability should not go onto the person that shot the gun.
But it shouldn't.
No, wait, is that what you just asked me?
I'm saying that because the person who shot the gun is the most recent moral agent, which is the principle that I hold, you should be held liable. But under your principle, you said
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
Uh, okay, so like,
right.
what
My principle was not initiatory. This was purely like retaliatory. Like outline of like retaliatory action.
okay, yeah. So in my hypothetical, it is initiatory.
Right.
This
Yeah, so I'm saying the primacy of blame is to be put on the initiatory and not the retaliatory, right? So I'm saying there's no notable distinction, right? So like I'm saying you have the agency, the R word baby and just like a normal baby, right? The like that's conceived out of it. You still have like the that like retaliatory ability to supersede the baby's like quote unquote right to life.
okay. Wait, so this is the reason. But like before we move on, hold on real quick. Would you agree that I should be held liable, even though there was a percentage that this outcome is going to happen because of my action?
Um, yeah, I do.
Okay, so like the principle you laid out
But it
earlier.
is
Wait, the principle that you laid out earlier, it seems like they contradict because I don't see how they can be both true at the same time. Unless
how so?
because earlier you said that because there is a percentage between the action and the outcome, therefore this percentage negates any liability. But it seems like in this scenario, it seems like we're still applying liability to the person who shot the gun. So, like, I'm confused on which one is true under your framework.
Wait, restate that one more time. Sorry, I zoned out.
Okay, so earlier I asked you if because there's a percentage between the action and outcome, if this percentage would negate liability, and you said yes. But it seems like in the case where you shot the gun, there was a percentage of the gun shooting. And like under your framework, we would just say that because there's a percentage of the gun actually shooting, therefore liability cannot be placed upon the person who shot the gun. But what like you just said that the person who shot the gun would be held liable. So I'm just curious on like why they're liable.
Yeah, all right. So in the prior, the probability is in regards to I guess like consequence of an action, right? So this is like the gun is like a third party agent. It's an aggressor, right?
Wait, the gun is the aggressor.
Or I mean the shooter, bro. That's my bad.
Oh, okay. Wait, how's the shooter a third party agent? I only see two
Or
parties.
or I mean my that's my fault. They're the aggressor, right? So
So are they the third party aggressor or are they the second?
I'm saying if like if the person like this is like the person consented to getting shot by that person without like only like that 5% gun thing, or not rather yeah,
But
bro.
I'm not,
I'm not gonna. I just fucking concede, bro. I'm too drunk to do this shit.
uh,
I cannot. Yeah, GG. Ugh,
oh, GG.
I can barely fucking think.
Yeah. I got a Sprite earlier for the first time in a whole year because last year,
That's right.
yeah, because like my New Year's resolution last year was you know what, Lance,
That's soda.
you're not gonna drink anything but water this year, and so I did
That's a
it.
good
I
resolution.
drank a Sprite for the first time in like literally a year. It felt amazing.
Yeah, man. Sprite's pretty fucking good.
God, I was watching Avengers 2, the 2012 one. It was the best.
I'm glad you had a good time, man. Uh,
Didn't see too many fireworks this year, because we just moved to like
oh,
into the country.
I didn't see any fucking fireworks.
Yeah, I saw one from like behind a tree, but like we're in the country, so I heard a lot because like we're in a town, but like there's so many freaking trees. I didn't see anything.